What's up, you guys? It's Michelle here. Thanks for joining me today and welcome to my channel. In today's video, I'm going to be doing a couple of patron spreads, so stay tuned for a fun plan with me. First up is Sonya, and Sonya requested a Thanksgiving menu cooking planning sheet and a Christmas decorations planning schedule. So I thought I would just do one on the front and then leave the back open for notes and then do another one on the front of the other side. So I pulled out for the Thanksgiving menu planning sheet, I pulled out the Live Love Posh Seasonal Love July through December. And for the Christmas decorations planning sheet, I'm going to use Christmas Love from Live Love Posh, and I'll include my affiliate link. You can always use code Michelle10 on everything excluding Posh boxes, bundles, or sets. And I always appreciate your support when you shop through my link at no extra cost to you. And I made these titles for the top: Thanksgiving menu planner, Christmas decor planner. These were both on Cricut Access, and the font I used for just the capital letters is called BFC Homestead. And then I made some little labels like appetizers, entrees, sides, desserts, beverages, notes, and all that. So I'm going to get started. I just have some plain dot grid paper. I got this on Amazon, and I'll include the link in the description for that also. Okay, so let's get to the Thanksgiving set. This is going to be perfect for this sheet. Okay, I don't want to take up too much function. Well, I am going to leave the back open for you too, Sonya, if you need to carry over. Let's start out with our label. Okay, there we go. All right, and I'm just going to draw the boxes on and then use like a small box to label it. Okay, so we'll do that like that, and then we'll do the entree over here, or entrees. I'm going to make it a little bit shorter. Okay, and then let's do a wide box for the sides, because that's usually what people have the most of. Then we need a box for desserts and drinks. So let's do a more oblong box for desserts, and then we'll do a smaller for drinks. Okay, so let's do this beautiful place setting right here. And in this Happy Planner book, I found these sort of coppery foil boxes that I'm going to use to label with. So let's do this. I said was going to be appetizers. Actually, let's do it this way, and I'll have something sort of right there sitting there decorative. Then we'll do this one right here and just trim some of it off since we already have something decorative here. Okay, so appetizers here, and then this is entrees. Okay, and let's get the entree sticker. And then here is sides. And I'm going to put this in here to label the desserts and do the drinks the same way. And the beverages here. Okay, perfect. Now I just need to get something to take care of these. And then I'll just make everything else decorative all around, put some lines in here, and then on the back you can have the place for notes and like shopping lists, Sonya. Okay, let's just do this little pumpkin right here. And then for sides, let's do these green beans. I'm just going to kind of cut them apart though. I think I'd rather trim off some of it so it's not in that section too much. There we go. And we'll do our little wine glass by the beverages. And for desserts, let's get one of those pies. Let's do a smaller, like this pumpkin pie. We'll do it just like that. Okay, now let's draw some lines and then we can have fun decorating. So I think probably you can fit couple of things on one line depending on what it is, like how long the item is, Sonya? Okay, and then for sides, might be able to fit 2 of these. Okay, and we'll use the regular stencil for the drinks. Okay. So let's do some pumpkins down at the bottom. And let's do these little berries right here. Let's also add our wine bottle here. Okay, and some of these beautiful florals. I think I'd like something in between the flowers, like a non-flower item, like, I don't know, more of the cutlery or something. Yeah, I think that works better. Actually, I'm going to switch this to the red wine. I think the color would show up better and look prettier. There we go. Okay, and let's use these pumpkins. I want mostly like this spotted one. That looks cool, and because they're different from the ones on the other ends, or it is. And let's do these mashed potatoes over here on the side. And to break this up in the middle, let's add those there. And I'm just going to put some scraps over here. I think I'll border the entire sheet. And we'll put these pumpkins here. And another one of our pumpkins. And I think this flower, it just is a little bit too big to be over here because I'm doing kind of a smaller border. So let's use this. Because I do want a little bit of that wine color in here because we have it there. Do that there. With this, and let's get this little green pumpkin. Okay. That little pumpkin there. All right, I'm going to go ahead and punch it. And then let's do this pumpkin also. I'm not completely sold on this pumpkin. Let me see if I can find something else to go there. I'd like something that's tall, like that stands up kind of tall and slim. I think I'm gonna do this, even though it's not an appetizer. You definitely could have some wine with appetizers, and it fits perfectly in here. Oh yeah, see, it's much more balanced. It's taller like that is. Okay, and let's do these cranberries right beside or on top of the side section. Okay, so that's going to be Sonia's Thanksgiving menu planner, and let's go ahead and do the Christmas decorations. Okay, let's do... I really, really love this. Okay, so I want to use this border at the top, or this big piece of deco. Oh, that is so pretty. And then put our title right underneath that. Okay, now for this sheet, I'm just going to make 4 sets of lines just with this longer stencil. And I have one for tree, lighting, outdoor, and other. And then notes and shopping can be on the back. add some of this red washi. This is foil washi I got in a set on Amazon, and I'll be sure to include the link, but it has all different colors of foil and glitter. So I'm just going to use it a little bit on each section. And then I'm going to put a either gold or silver foil box on top, layer it off of that. I think I'm going to take this up and use, I made it in a smaller size, just because it looks a little crowded right there. Okay, yeah, this is much better. There we go. Okay, I've got in the OG Colorful Boxes book, I'm just going to grab a few gold boxes right here. Like that, they kind of look like little, like Santa's buckles, they're cute. Okay, so I just want to drop the labels off in there. Okay, at the bottom I want to use the other part of that I trimmed off, the top border piece. And then I want to add our little tree. Let's do that right here. Okay, and we'll use this over here. Let's use this little peppermint mocha sitting here. And let's do these presents here. And another candy cane. Okay, and just a few more things on the side here. Let's do a little bit more of this greenery. And right here. Okay, a little bit of greenery there. And let's put our books right here. Okay, and let's put this here. put a little bit there. And we'll just do a tiny bit. There is a little cupcake I could put beside it. Actually, since that has something on it, let's do this side with the cupcake. All right, that's going to be Sonia's Christmas decor planner, and here is the Thanksgiving menu planner. I think they turned out so cute. Sonya, I hope you love them too, and I hope you have a super happy Thanksgiving. Let's go ahead and move on to the next one. All right, next up is Teresa, and Teresa requested a cozy autumn scene spread. So I'm pulling out Cassetic Plan's Haunted Harvest. I'll be sure to include my affiliate link in the description, and I always appreciate your support when you shop through my link at no extra cost to you. But this is a gorgeous sticker book. It is divided up into like a fall harvest section and then more like of a Halloween section in the back. But I'm going to obviously use this section here. And I love this giant door sticker with the plant. So I'm going to start out with that over in the corner. Teresa uses the Kelova Plan dashboard layout, so I love that there's so much freedom on this side of the page to just do whatever you want. And then this scrap here with the leaves, I'll be able to use that on the other side. So I'm going to trim that off and save that. And then let's add this window right up here. All right, and let's do this bookshelf over here in this section. Okay, and let's get some function. Teresa tracks her blood sugar levels, so I need something to use for that. So let's get like a larger, we'll use this longer box, but just trim it down. Let's do it right here. Okay. All right, and we'll just trim that off a little bit shorter, just for what we need. Okay, so I need it just a little bit longer than a regular full box, a little bit longer than this. So we need 7 lines. And let's use a slender orange box above it to label it. Kind of sliding in this way. Then I've got a blood sugar, just functional word here. And also the days of the week right here. And I'm just going to list those down each line. Okay, perfect. And let's get one of our double boxes in the brown. Right here. And I'm going to go ahead and add some lines to that also. Okay. Now let's get some of these other like fun boxes that are a little bit different. We'll do this here. Let's do this little flower deal up here. And then right down here, something like this would be cute with the flowers and the pumpkins. Oh, that's so pretty. I'd like a quote here. Let me see what I have. What about this quote that says, thankful, grateful, and blessed? Let's put that right here. That seems to fit perfect. And let's get a little bit more flower action right here. Then how about a little leaf falling? And I've just got some more scraps I'm going to put with this. And add this here. Okay, and right beside where it says grateful, let's do this little flower. Okay, let's move this up and then we can have one more medium, like just rectangle box there. And then I think I'll do a quote here. Let's scoot this down a little bit too, and then we can do a larger box there. And we'll do this cozy autumn quote right here. Okay, and I want to do one of these boxes right here with that look like little tags. How about this? Okay, perfect. Just a little bit right there. So I think that's plenty of function over here. And then I'm just going to put a kind of a mustardy yellow flag up on this box and a few little leaves, and we'll be good with this side. Okay, and then just going to drop off a few of these little maple leaves, just kind of falling. And how about just a little bit more scrap action up here? Okay, and we'll just use part of this right here. Maybe we should move this leaf over and just do floral scraps here. Move it over to this side where we kind of need something a little larger. Okay, let's do this and just trim it kind of at an angle. Okay, I think that's perfect. Then we'll do one more little leaf over here. Let's do this little leaf scrap here. Just like that. Okay, so that side is beautiful. Let me just add a little black word over there. We'll move on to the other side. Let's do this, the plan. Okay. Now I want more flower scraps around the side, of course. And let's get a little scrap action on the side of our bookcase, right here and over here. And then let's use this over here. And a little over here. It's looking so pretty. And we'll get a little bit right here. We'll do this. Almost got the border. And this. Now right here, there's like an umbrella or something I'd like to use, or just a few more other elements. This little cinnamon roll looks super yummy. Let's put that there. Then we've got a bowl of soup. Put it there for right now. And these other little pumpkins over here. Let's move this since We can put something taller right here, these little pumpkins. And then we'll do this scrap right beside that. Okay, now for that umbrella, where was that? We'll put that right here with a little bit more scrap there, something up here, and then we can go into our function on this side and a couple of, maybe one or two little quotes. A little flower. Okay, something over here. Okay, so there's our border. Well, we could use a little something there. There we go, just a little bitty leaf scrap. So cute. I don't know, I might move our suit down here. Feels like there's a lot of extra elements there. Space them out more. Yep, that's better. Now let's just get a few boxes. All right, let's do this up here on Tuesday. And we actually have our patron Zoom that day, so that might be a good place if you want to mark that on there, Teresa. And how about we do this orange right over here. And then we'll do a little brown box here. Well, let's do it over this way so it's not right underneath that up there. I don't know if I like how close that is to that, so I'm just going to scoot it over to the right and up a little bit. Okay, I think I like that better. Let's put autumn blessings. This is a tiny quote I made. And then let's add a few bullet points. Let's do like this yellowy color. I think that's a nice pop of color. Just a couple on that day. And we'll add some also on Thursday and Friday. Okay, I think that's good on function. I'm going to use these 3 little leaves falling down somewhere. we'll put this one here and this here. Okay, there we go. All right, I think that's all it needs. I'm not going to add any black words on this side. I think it's nice and full and super cozy. I hope you love it, Teresa, and I hope you have a super happy Thanksgiving. Thank you guys for hanging out with me while I put these patron spreads together, and thank you so much to my patrons for your support. I hope you enjoyed the video. If you did, don't forget to give it a thumbs up. I'd also love it if you considered subscribing and turning on notifications, and I can't wait to see you in the next video. Bye!